I'm back. Well, as is the situation, I just got done listening to a couple of dire warning videos, and if all these things are true, and notice that I always have to wait and see. But so far, I haven't seen anything that, like with the global money supply and with the American dollar and with every demonization that the federal government of the United States is, every nation that they have tried to demonize, it's those that are breaking away from the system of the American dollar. And you know, each time a nation breaks away from the system of the American dollar, our government demonizes them and then tries to invade them. And even with Russia, they're doing everything they can to try and demonize Russia and China. You'll notice that they're breaking away from the money supply, the American dollar. But I just watched a video that really sends chills up my spine, real bad. I mean, just incredible. It's this guy right here.
Well, you know, it's expected to be warm.
And he ties it all together. Everything that's going on in this world that's troublesome, shall we say. And the obvious divide and conquer mentality, well, it's obvious to me, where they're doing everything they can to try and get people to hate each other so they won't help each other. And cause chaos. And then the government, of course, governments of the world, of course, are trying to eliminate the firearms of peoples. Almost everywhere else in the world, except for a couple of nations, the peoples don't have, you know, they've taken people's firearms away or made it a law that you couldn't own a firearm, and which doesn't make sense in a personal self-defense perspective, but it does make sense if you got a group of people at the top trying to survive, because they know global cooling is coming. And this particular video was chilling, and it's absolutely astonishing. You know, I can't say I'm totally astonished. Seldom in my life have I been completely caught off guard and surprised by world events. To the point of mouth open, gaping, The World Trade Center was one of those things. The 9/11. That was a complete. I could just remember standing there in the office watching the little 12-inch TV, where I was going, what? Believe it or not, Oklahoma City. The bombing of Oklahoma City, I can remember standing in my living room, and then I had to go to work, but I can remember standing there and just staring at the TV. And by the time I got into work, the boss, he had heard about it too, and I said, do you hear about Oklahoma City? And he says, yeah, I think it was a gas line explosion. I said, was not a gas line explosion. That was a bomb. I just didn't know how big it was. It was a monster. And sure enough, proved out it was a bomb. I mean, that thing was huge. But what else caught me by surprise? The invasion of Kuwait by Iraq caught me off guard to the point of total astonishment. Makes me wonder what big thing next is gonna make me stand there and just stare in astonishment, going, what? Maybe nothing more. I don't know. I hope. But it doesn't matter. This particular guy in this particular video, if I could zoom in enough so you can see clearly the title. There we go. Back a little bit. Global Cooling Forecast 2020 to 2030, Global Famine, Mini Ice Age 2015 to 2035. This particular video puts it all together. Everything. The politics, the social, and the reality. I'm convinced now that the governments of the world know that a mini ice age is coming, or that a very, very cold period is coming. So much so that it's going to destroy millions of tons of crops. And already, last year it started. We got a little hint of it from down south, like the coffee beans in the, and I mean south of the equator, where most of our coffee beans in the world are grown, in the tropics. They've lost upwards of, well, as of 2016, 15% of the coffee beans. And now I suspect it's even higher, because now I'm paying 30% more, or the price of the coffee that I buy has gone up by half. In other words, it used to be 6 something a can, now it's 9 something a can, almost 10. That's this year. Now this time harvest is coming around in September. And we've lost probably, if I were going to guess, 20% of our main grain staples throughout the world, throughout the whole world. Now, since we have a more global economy, that's going to affect prices throughout the world, including the United States. Now, so many people just don't get that. They don't want to include the United States in their mess. Wake up, people. It's written in the Bible. God says, I'm going to starve people. We've had fish kill-offs in droves throughout the world. I just saw a title for a video that I haven't had a chance to look at. Says there's a dead zone, a big dead zone now in the Gulf of Mexico. I believe that. I've seen picture after video of animal kill-offs. The lightning has grown absolutely incredible, even right here. We used to hear little crack bangs. I'd call them little crack bangs. They were big enough to rumble they were loud enough to rumble the house. Now I'm hearing thunder and seeing lightning that literally shakes the ground. This is predicted in the Bible. Thunderings and lightnings. Vision of David Wilkerson's The Vision before they got a hold of that book and just gutted it. I know this because we got an original copy of the book The Visions. In fact, we had David Wilkerson come to our church and explain his vision, which was really cool. And then we bought the book. Or did we see a video? This was in the 70s. You know, this stuff scared me so bad when I was a kid that I literally prayed to God that there would be a delay. And there was. But I think the events are already slated. The fascinating thing is, if you pray that something not happen, it was already slated not to happen, you just get the blessing of praying and seeing it happen that way. It's really fascinating to consider how people are so deceived into thinking that events are not going to occur. According to the Word of God, and these were predictions 2,000 to 3,000 years ago, mankind was, ultimately it works out to mankind learns from their mistakes, but mankind doesn't learn from their mistakes. The mistake is you can't crack down on the average person because, you know, if you got people at the top with all the money and all the power and they try to crack down on the people down below, the people are why they have their money and power, period. Now, according to the Word of God, God raises up and pulls down the powerful and the rich. He raises up nations and he pulls them down. I'm not kidding you, my God is God, because how in the world could all these things be predicted? How? The most accurate book in the world is the Bible. The most castigated book in the world is the Bible. The best-selling book in the world is the Bible. The most hated book in the world is the Bible. Quit hating the Bible. It's telling you the truth. It's telling you what's going to happen. It's telling you about world events. It's telling you about cosmic events. And the only way those things could happen is if it were God. Because I guarantee you, all those angels or spirits or devils that got cast here, they don't have a clue. They literally have to try and they either have to listen to Christians or they have to try and take them over so they can make a new reality or another reality. Only in this case, they're just lying their butt off. Global warming is a hoax, and it's designed to keep you from knowing the truth and preparing and getting together. Everything, Agenda 21, the divide and conquer, the integration, the societal integration, literally trying to put different groups with different groups so they can have their chaos. Only you don't want chaos. It's too bad. It is too bad. If everybody would have listened to God, if everybody would have listened to Jesus Christ, if everybody would have listened to the Bible, if everybody would have been paying attention. And remember, one other thing. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The word in that verse, word, comes from the Greek word logos, which is the Greek word for logic. Now, why did they change that meaning in the 1600s from logic? In the beginning was logic. I don't know. I mean, I could speculate, but I'm not going to speculate exactly. Maybe they don't even know why. I guarantee you that nothing in the Bible got changed save that God allowed it. In other words, they didn't change the word because as a technicality, you could say that logic could be used as a word, but the problem is it's logic. In the beginning was God's logic. He created this universe using logic and power. If you don't have any logic, you can have all the power in the world. And all you do is create chaos. I've had so many people say that to me, you know. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Absolute power does not corrupt absolutely. Absolute power with love and logic does not corrupt. It's incorruptible, i.e. God. I could just keep going on and on with this. This video just explains it. This is it. And it's too late. People have until September to stock up on food. And that's not going to be enough. You're going to have to make a garden, except that I think that they tried that, There were people out there gardening, and then the government come in and, look at this woman was hydroponically growing tomatoes in her basement. The government in Minnesota, and the government came in and raided her house because she was growing tomatoes. Well, profile says blah, 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 blah. Wrong. That was just plausible deniability. They really didn't like her growing tomatoes. So the government knew that she was growing tomatoes. What the NSA or whatever these listening goddamn places knew that she was growing tomatoes. and what they needed to do was set an example. That's why it made news. And everybody gets pissed off. Everybody should do the opposite. Go in your basement and build yourself a little hydroponics farm and grow your own food. The problem is, it's too late. Too many people don't know. They don't know what to believe. They think it's all BS, and so they're just ignoring it. That's a mistake. A huge mistake. Plays right into whoever these people are that are created. It just plays right into their hands. It's a mistake. And when the food shortages come to the United States and people start going crazy and hurting each other and killing each other, of course, then they think, well, we've got all these internment camps. I guarantee you, if it gets that bad, it'll happen so fast that ultimately it will, within a very short period of time, destroy the government. There won't be anyone to enforce any laws. There will be ultimate chaos. Well, enough said. I see I got 19 minutes on this video. If I'm going to upload this to YouTube, I better just shut it off. Well, that's another rambling wreck. Maybe that's what I should name all my videos. The Ramblings of Ron. Something, I don't know. Enough said. Click.